dig with everyone. I'm trying to be as quiet as possible because, as per usual, it's 4 in the morning. But I wanted to take some time out of the internet, mainly being textually abused, assaulted, and threatened with rape and death by people that don't believe misogyny exists, to talk to you about something that has been on my mind lately. I'm sure you all have heard of the song All About That Bass. It's by a singer called Megan Trainor. The beat is catchy as F, so I have no doubt that you've heard it and probably sung it to yourself 7 million times, because once that song is in your head, oh my god, it owns you. It's not coming out. It's there for life. But this song has brought up a couple of issues that I found really interesting, things that kind of bothered me about it, so I wanted to discuss them with you guys because you guys are always great to discuss things with, so let's just get right to it. All About That Bass is marketed as a body confidence song. The singer says that it is for all body types. From the wording of the songs, I think that it is marketed towards women, but music is open to personal interpretation, so you might disagree wholly with that. But it's about promoting self-love, self-worth, and being happy with who you are the way you are. There are a couple of issues with the lyrics though that, like I said, bothered me. The first one is there's a line in the song that says, my mama, she told me don't worry about your size, 'cause boys like a little more booty to hold at night. And the reason that those lyrics bother me is, for a song that is meant to be building self-confidence, self-love, self-appreciation, in order to do that, it can't tell people to base their self-worth off the opinion of someone else. You don't need someone else's opinion to validate who you are and how you should feel about yourself. Like, of course, if someone that you're attracted to, or just someone in general, thinks that you're attractive, that's like a confidence boost, but it shouldn't be the basis of what you build your self-love off of. And I just thought that while the message of you're perfect the way you are is a really good message to spread, saying you're perfect the way you are because a certain group of people like that, it just muddies the message. We shouldn't tell women that they are fine the way they are because that's what men like, and we shouldn't tell men that you're fine the way you are because that's what women like, or we shouldn't tell gay men that they're fine the way they are because that's what men like, or we shouldn't tell gay women that they're fine the way they are because that's what women like. You should tell people they're fine the way they are because that's the way they are. I should have wrote this down and not screwed up my thought process, but the fact that she was saying you are awesome because boys like this or girls like this completely makes the message toxic and clouds it so it doesn't have the impact that it should have. Please remember that you are perfect the way you are. That is her message of this song, and you don't need the validation of somebody else to make you feel worthwhile. You are enough as you are, and out of all the people in your life that you're going to spend your time with, you spend the most time with yourself. And it is important that you love you because you think you're awesome rather than somebody else thinks that you're aesthetically pleasing. I hope that part makes sense. That was just, this is what happens when it's 4 in the morning and I'm allowed to talk. The second issue I have with the song is probably quite a widely discussed topic on the internet, but it affected me to the point that I wanted to talk to you about it. People have brought up the issue that this song is a promotion of thin shaming, and if you don't know what thin shaming is, it's basically insulting or making thinner people feel bad about the fact that they are thinner, in the same way that fat shaming is insulting and abusing and making larger people feel bad about the fact that they are larger. And although Megan says that this song is body confidence for everyone, the lyrics and the visual representation of the song kind of say otherwise. Well, not kind of say otherwise, definitely say otherwise. And that's where people have the issue. The visual example is obviously the video. The video is super fun, it's super colourful, there's lots of curvy girls and a guy dancing around and having a party, having a great time, because like I said, the beat is catchy as F and it really makes you want to dance. But in contrast to those people, there is a thinner woman who is dressed in a regular dress, but then it's wrapped in what I think looks like cellophane, and she is meant to represent the silicone Barbie dolls, or the media photoshopping representations of women, where they chop us to pieces and like cover up all our face demons and stuff. She is a representation of that. And while the representation of that is not an issue, it's more so the fact that she is obviously there to be in contrast to the other cast members of this video. And she is quite aggressively treated by other cast members. She is pushed around, people get in her face, they dance in her face, and it just portrays a very aggressive message towards people who are not a certain body type. And because that aggression is shown, it really backs up the fact that people think the lyrics are kind of hostile. The lyric that has caused the most controversy is the one where she says, "I'm bringing booty back, now go and tell them skinny bitches that." And a lot of people have said to me, well, that's a jokey term. A skinny bitch is like a funny thing. But it's not funny to the person you're calling a skinny bitch. I've had a lot of people say, "Jenny, skinny is not a derogatory term. I don't know why you're insulted." But skinny is a derogatory term. I have never once in my life been called skinny and had someone mean it in an affectionate or complimentary way. It's usually said with a look of disgust, with set up lines like, "You're so skinny, I can see your bones, it's disgusting," or "You're too skinny, eat a cheeseburger," which seemingly is always their food of choice, don't ask me why. So to have skinny followed then by an aggressive derogatory term of bitch, it makes people feel not only attacked for their body type, but also singled out and excluded from this song that is supposed to represent body confidence for everyone. And a lot of people have then said to me, well, she says she's just kidding afterwards. My problem with that is, look at it in this perspective. If I walked up to someone in the street and said, "You're an ugly bitch," but then said, "No, I'm just kidding," does that make the first term any less insulting or hurtful? Not at all. In fact, it's kind of a double slap in the face, because you're not only saying, "I have gone out of my way to make you feel inadequate and insulted and hurt, but now I'm going to say it was a joke, so it was meant for amusement," which is not an acceptable thing. While I definitely think Megan went into this song with the best of intentions, as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, I can understand that as a writer she feels that this song is exclusive of everyone. But you also have to look at it from the point of view that you don't have the point of view of everyone, so you don't know how your words are going to make them feel. And in this case, thinner people didn't really take kindly to being called skinny bitches or having that term then laughed at and passed off as a joke. Also, it should be noted that she says, go ahead and tell them skinny bitches that, no, I'm just kidding, I know you think you're fat. I don't think I'm fat. In fact, I know I'm not fat. I'm 5'8" and 118 pounds. I have no idea what it's like to be considered fat. I am perfectly content with the way I am. Sometimes I think I look a bit like Skeletor when I take my clothes off, but that is because I have spent years of people telling me I look like Skeletor when I take my clothes off, that my ribs stick out too much and you can see too much my hip bone, or even my wrist gets so much input from strangers. I've had a lot of very aggressive and violent encounters with strangers, of people telling me to eat a cheeseburger. The first time that I was ever aware that I was not a average body type was when I was about 8, and these girls in school tried to convince me that I was anorexic and I needed immediate medical attention. I was 8 and had no fucking idea what anorexia was, and came home and said to my mom, "Mom, I think I'm anorexic." And she was like, "Well, from what I've seen you eat of dinner, you're definitely not." I've had strangers jokingly try to break my arm bones in half because they think, "You're so skinny, it would be easy." I'm kind of going off track here. You don't need to know about my past sob stories, but what I'm saying is, I don't know what it's like to be a bigger girl. I don't know what it's like for people to scream abuse at me because they feel that I take up too much physical space. I don't know what it's like to have someone scoff at me when I eat something that is considered not healthy because I should be looking after myself. I don't know what it's like for someone to comment on my skin that they feel is extra and shouldn't be there. But I do know what it's like for people to comment on the bones that they think protrude too much, or comment about the fact that I'm obsessed with being healthy when I eat a salad, or have strangers scream at me because they think I take up too little space. The world is really weird. You literally cannot win either way. And I think by setting two groups, two body types against each other, and building one up by putting down the other one, does not make any good of a difference in the world. You do more harm than good when you do that. And while I definitely feel that if you want to make a body confidence song and you want to only include one body type in it, you are more than entitled to do that. You are completely, it is within your rights, in fact, freedom of speech. And if that's your prerogative, then go for it. But I don't think that when you make that song, you should claim that it is inclusive of all body types. Pardon me, I sneezed and you didn't need to see that. You shouldn't claim that it's inclusive of all body types when the way that it is both lyrically and visually displayed suggests otherwise. I think that's all I have to say. I'm not sure if any of this made any sense because it's very late and I've just been thinking and rubbing my eyes a lot. But yeah, if you have anything to add and you could understand any of what I was trying to say, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. I promise I will be doing the review that I promised you yesterday. But until then, I'll talk to you all later. I'm going to go to bed now. Good night. I love you all. Salon. And please remember that you are extremely perfect the way you are, no matter whether you're big, small, tall, short, considered overweight, underweight, just right. I don't know what just right is though. There is no just right. You can never win in society. But whoever you are and whatever you are, love yourself because you are more than worth it. And if you're not gonna love you, well then I'm gonna shower you in love until you definitely love you. Um, don't use my opinion to validate yourself though. Yeah. Okay. Slán everyone. Talk to you next time when I hopefully have a train of thought that makes sense, but probably not. Slán.